I don't think I caught up with it, but what went on?
Well, it was kept out of the media a lot, and that's
Okay.
no comment.
No comment.
No comment.
A solicitor involved.
Okay.
Yeah, we were striking for 2 days a week for almost probably 8-9 months, because they wanted us basically to sign these new contracts, which were obviously going to be worse off, and they wanted us to be, well, one of the things for me, I was single parent at the time. I worked part-time, but I still did 32 hours a week. Right. So 4 days a week, it helped me like be a parent as well as run my, obviously run my property bills and everything, and also look after my son. So they were going to change it. So so they wanted everyone to work, so the full-time week was 37 hours, and they wanted everyone to work another 3 hours for no extra pay.
Right.
So they kept saying in the media they weren't dropping pay.
I remember,
but they were, because if I was part-time and I could only do 32 hours, that obviously pro rata I was on about 87% of a full-time wage. Yeah. But when it comes to changing it to 40 hours, it then reduced it to 80%. So I was losing 7.5% of my wage, of my holiday, of everything. Yeah. Everything was dropping. So, and also they wanted me to be available to work, everyone to be available to work between 7 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. So you could have been on a shift at any point during them hours. Now, as a single parent, that just does not work. I was working at the time. I was working every other Saturday because I wanted to offer my unsociable hours that way, because I couldn't do evenings. So
is that what they class as? You got to work them unsociable hours?
Yeah. So I was doing Saturdays because my mum would have my son on the Saturday, and then I was doing every other Saturday. So it wasn't like I was just doing the nice hours that everyone wanted to do. I was offering my...
But even that, if that's what they're badging it as, unsocial, you've got to work a certain amount of unsocial
You'll
hours.
never have a family life.
But even that statement is quite a shocking clause to have.
The thing is, they were under this illusion that people wanted us out on the weekend. They wanted us out, in the evening. But it was like what you said about Thomas Dudley listened to their employees. Yeah. We were the ones speaking to customers. We knew that wasn't particularly what they wanted. If their boiler broke down, they'd have a day off for us to come out.
Yeah, of course.
It's a bit different to a service. They're probably not too fussed about it.
But it's got to be sorted.
Yeah, but they want someone there quick as possible. And we'd tell them that, but they just didn't listen. They just thought that everybody wanted us there on a weekend, on a late, and it's not the case. So... it just sort of went from there, and we were trying to stand up for ourselves.
Yeah, 'cause it went on for ages, didn't it?
It was an awful time. The way they treated us, it just didn't sit right with me. It was like,
I think it didn't sit right with a lot of people. I remember Luke, Blue Bulldog.
I was going to say he was British Gas, wasn't he?
And again, he was a very good engineer. British Gas put a lot onto him, because they valued him as an engineer, and in the end, it just that.
So when this was all going on, I take it a lot of engineers just went, no, not having this.
Well, what it was, they gave us a deadline. You had to sign by this date, otherwise they were going to go ahead with this fire and rehire, which they called it dismiss and re-engage. So they would dismiss you off your old
just the way they've learned stuff, it's just.
Yeah. So they would dismiss you off your old contract, so that would end, and then you would be re-engaged on this new contract, which was obviously the things I've mentioned. They're just a few of the things, just a small amount.
Loads,
and if you didn't sign by this date, they would do that, and then the next day send you the new contract. But obviously, there was, I think, out of 7,000 engineers, there were about 1,500 that didn't sign it, and but the ones that didn't sign it had the intention that they were leaving. So that was my intention.
Fair enough.
Because I didn't like the way they were lying to people about things. So they'd say, "Oh well, we might dismiss you, and then there might not be a position, so we might not be able to give you a job back."
They're putting a squeeze on you, aren't they, to make that decision.
Redundancy, not fire and rehire. And
Right.
you try to shout this to people.
Yeah.
They can't do that, but people were scared.
Because they got mortgages.
Which is fine. I mean, I've got really close friends that still work there.
Right.
And, we had these debates, and I tried to say that they can't not give you a job back. But because obviously people got scared, they signed it, and it left, like, say, about 1,500 people that didn't sign it, which they then issued that to. But I, by that point, made my decision that if they went through with it, I would leave.
So at that point, you knew in your head what you was going to do, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So you already at this point put in stuff into place, like getting work in of your own.
Yeah. So I did, start doing a little bit of work on the side, sort of thing. Started building up a few customers.
Yeah.
I did some work for other people that had already left and gave me work, rental property breakdowns and things, because, it was just an indication the work was out there, basically.
But it's stepping out. You've been there 23 years.
Yeah.
It's that not knowing, isn't it? It's,
Were you scared of starting on your own?
Yeah.
It's getting your hand forced, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to do it. Because
Yeah.
at this point, you've got a mortgage, young son.
Yeah, my bills, I was the only one paying the bill. It's my wage, and I had a mortgage, and I had all this responsibility. But it was like I'd seen other people do it, and I'd seen that the work was out there. And I thought, if I don't do it now...
So how long ago was that, Kaz?
So that was 3 years ago.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I've not looked back.